In this video we are going to use interrupt in our project. Here the switch will work as an interrupt and based upon that we can control the LED. There was one issue in the last project that multiple times is checking what is the state of the pin and it is LED going to on or off based upon that. So we are actually giving our load to our processor. That means whenever an external interrupt received then only it will work. Let's start here. Also we will be using the same pin for the button as well as for the switch. So let's jump into the basic part of the code. Now import pin from the machine and import sleep from uTime. Next we have to create two objects. One is for button, one is for the LED. This line of code created GPA pin number 3 as an output pin. Now we need a button pin. We are using GPA pin number 16 in this case and making it as an input pin. In this set of code we don't need to say that the pin wanted to be a pull-up pin or pull-down pin. Just say that this is an input pin. To start an interrupted method we have to create something like whenever the button pin has got an interrupt and it wanted to do something that we will be writing as a function. So just create a function with the keyword dev and name of function. I am giving it a button handler. Something like that. Then you wanted to pass the parameters called a pin. That is which pin we are using over here. Just write pin. That's fine. Now normally we have to give the full code and what is the thing have to done inside the function. If the button state is supposed 1 then we wanted to make the LED on as we wanted to make the LED of the same what we have done for the previous project. If there is a checking but it's the state of the button being if the value is supposed to run we need to own the LED. We can also print out what we can do as we wanted to make the LED to be off condition. We can print a state function handler. We call it as interrupt handler. Now how we'll call this interrupt? It's very easy. Which pin is going to make an interrupt? So that object we wanted to call here the pin which is in the GPS 16 that's going to create an interrupt. I have to create the object right now. Object is button pin that is the interrupt and we want to check there is an interrupt is coming or not. I will use IRQ. This IRQ makes sure that is any interpretation coming or not. If there is any kind of interpretation coming, which function wanted to work the function? We know that we wanted to run this function. Just copy that. This one we wanted to run. So we had to say that the handler here is equal to which one button handle that's about the program. Interrupt can be because of two possibilities. When the value drops down or the value rises. Both cases you will get an interrupt. That means when you press the switch, the voltage rises. At times it will get an interrupt. And when you release the voltage drop down to 0 volt. That also will consider as another entrance. We can run this code save into the computer. This time this is an interrupt. So I'm just giving IRQPY I just saved. There is no error in the code. The code is working fine. Let me press the switch. Now let's see what will happen. I see the LED on and when I press the switch it gives a draft. Now the LED on and it is printed only one time. Now I am going to release my hand from the button. Now the voltage drops to 0. So dropping will again consider as another interrupt. Now, health condition work. It is only printed one time. The off condition again on off. So each and every time you press and release it gives a high voltage and low voltage. Each and every time it will consider as an interrupt and based it upon that value. The another advantage is that same time I can also use the repeat here. In the repeat I am going to type something. Print statement just I am using a simple print statement. The print statement is working. Same time the interrupt program also works. That is the beauty when you are using interrupt. So interrupt is a far better method than the first one which we have discussed in the last video. Subscribe our channel for more videos.